Hey guys! Today I'm gonna be spilling some major tea about my life in Paris. I hope y'all stay tight. It's gonna be juicy. Okay, as a matter of fact, I hate living in Paris. First of all, something about myself. My name is Holly. I am a sophomore at New York University. I major in media, culture, and communication. And for this semester, I have decided to study abroad in Paris for one semester. This is part of a program that I'm in. It's called Global Media Scholars. So we are required to study away for 2 semesters. For this semester, we can choose between either Paris and Prague. For this semester, I chose France, Paris, because I took French for 4 years when I was in high school, and I always had this imagination about Paris. You know, like every girl has that imagination. I watched Devil Wears Prada. It's the place for fashion, for media, for everything that I thought I wanted to know about, and also is this whole myth about what Paris is that allures me into coming here. And the brutal truth about this whole thing is Paris is a troll. I'm sorry if I offend anyone. Disclaimer at first, please don't watch this video, because I know there are people who just love Paris, but I want to share my truth because I know I'm not the only one. But still, if you find this video offensive or not real, I'm sorry, this is just my personal opinion. Okay, let's get into it. I have listed 4 reasons why I hate Paris, and I'm gonna start with the easiest. First of all, Paris is not friendly. Well, it took me a while to really get used to the culture here, and I have been warned about how cocky that French people can be, but I never grasped that the meaning behind it until I came here, because I was like, how bad could it be? You know, how bad could everything be? But when I came here, that's when I realized people can be really, really impolite. So for example, one thing you will do in Paris is when you go to anywhere, when you go to a boulangerie, when you go to a restaurant, a cafe, just if you ask them, bonjour. I know I have an accent, I'm not a native French speaker, but I am trying so hard to speak your language. But basically all the time, they will respond to you in English. Every single time. It's almost like, bonjour, and they'll be like, what do you want? So, like, that's the first thing I found really, like, uncomfortable with, because I don't feel, like, welcomed here at all. And the part that I'm trying to make an effort about it. I'm trying to just get into the culture. I know I'm trying to learn, but there's no chance for me to learn. And then I felt I was being laughed at or judged. The thing is, it was very common. I talked to a lot of my French friends. I talked to my French professor. Apparently, it's a really common thing with friends is that they have this huge ego, that they just feel like if you're not speaking fluent French, then you should not speak French at all. And also, I think this is a pretty Parisian thing. It's not like for all of the French country. In Paris, it can be really hectic, so people are fast paced, so they don't really have patience for you. They don't have time to like understand what you're trying to say. So let's better get this going. Because when I was visiting Nice which was in South France for spring break, I've met so many lovely French people. I went to get my hair cut, and I was afraid. I was like, excuse me, can I get my hair cut? Because I was so used to how I was treated in Paris. But the owner of the salon was so nice to me. He said, vous pouvez parler français avec moi. He's like, you can speak French, like try to speak French with me. And that was the first time ever in my whole experience here. Like I've been here for like 4 or 5 months. That was the first time I was encouraged to speak French. I was like, I almost cried at that moment. I'm like, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to practice speaking this language that I worked so hard for. But yeah, that's the first thing, is that you just don't feel welcomed here. Second of all, which I found really contradictory to the first part, is that the work pace in Paris is unbearably slow. I was sick. I got infected by viruses. So and also I wasn't really getting well to the whole like environment here, so my sleeping schedule is messed up. It was like my whole menstrual system and hormone system is kind of out of place, which leads to so many problems, because women's body are pretty fragile. So I have decided to go to see the doctor. NYU has done a pretty good job about like giving us contacts with the doctors, and then there's a thing called Geo Blue, which is a student insurance that covers your pain and everything, which is thank God. But I went to see this doctor. She is French, but she went to school in Canada, so her clinic she can speak both English and French, which is pretty helpful. So I went to see my doctor. She wasn't there on that day, so it was her substitute. I spoke to her, and she's like, okay, we need to run tests. First is you need to get your bio test, and then second of all, we need you to have an ultrasound scan, which is not really necessary. But we didn't really understand. We were just trying to make sure that I'm fine with everything. So I understand why she was prescribed me with ultrasound, but it wasn't really necessary. Anyways, biotest and ultrasound are run by 2 different places. Biotest is easier to get done. Like you just go to, like, it's like a walk-in place. You get it done, and then they send your result back to the doctor. But for ultrasound, you have to make an appointment with it, which is totally fine, which is, I think, is how they work. Yeah, I got my biotest done like the week after I saw my doctor, so it was another weekend of like pain and everything. I got it done, and I scheduled my ultrasound scan on a Tuesday, and that was the only time slot that they were available, so I had to like get an excuse from my teacher to leave my class earlier so I can get my ultrasound scan. It was raining, it was cold. I had to take like a 30 minutes metro to get to the place. I didn't eat any food. It was like lunchtime, I couldn't eat anything. And just when I almost got there, they gave me a call, and in this cold ass tone, bonjour mademoiselle, je suis désolée, mais vous ne pouvez pas prendre ton written test aujourd'hui. They said there's a technical issues. All of a sudden I can't get it. And I'm like, okay, that's really inconvenient. What do I do now? They're like, oh, we can reschedule you. I said, okay, when? Next Wednesday. I'm like, there's like a whole week apart. Is there any possibility you can squeeze me in? Because my body can't take it anymore, and I need my result back to go see the doctor. But they're like, I'm sorry, we can't do anything. Wednesday it is. And I was like, fine. But at that point, I felt like, because my bio test results came back, and then it has all these like numbers and everything. It shows I know what exactly is wrong with my body. And the ultrasound is just not necessary. So I try to talk to my doctor. I called her clinic, And I said, I can't wait for another week to get my ultrasound scan, because that's just, it's gonna be another weekend of pain. It's already been like 4 weeks. I can't. I need my medicine to cure this disease. It's actually pretty obvious. It's an infection with my body. And the front desk was like, no, you have to wait. You have to wait for the test. You have to wait. Doesn't matter. And I'm like, maybe by the time I get everything done, I'm gonna be like healed. And then after I go through all this pain, I'm gonna be healed by myself. This is how you treat your patients? Like, it's painful. And you know what is wrong, but you can't get the medicine. And then you just have to sit there and just go through the pain and hope everything's gonna be alright. No, that's not how it's gonna be. So I got so angry. I was a little bit aggressive. My personality, I can be really aggressive. I want to get things done. That's I was like, I want to get it done. So I told her, if you're not gonna let me see the doctor today, I'm gonna be really upset. And I do not want to go through the pain one more time. I have to see her. Something like that. And I finally got to see my doctor. It's the main one, not the substitute. She said, yeah, I don't understand why she was like prescribe you with ultrasound scan. Here's her medicine, take it. Half a month will be fine. I'm like, dude, it's that simple. It's that fucking simple. Why? And I was like, are you busy today? Like, am I like taking too much of your time? She's like, no, you're fine. You're fine. No, I'm fine. You're fine. That's not the worst part, my friends. Third reason why. It's still about the French people's working system whatsoever, and then this is the main reason that triggered me to do today's, like, the whole video. I want to go to Britain to visit my friend who lives in London. So I'm Chinese. I need a visa to enter Britain. So I know that it normally takes them 10 work days, so roughly 2 weeks, to get everything done. So as much I know about the French people, I gave them 4 weeks to process my application. I handed in my application on April 4th, Thursday at 10 a.m. And it was supposed to be back last Thursday, but there's nothing. So I called the embassy. Hello, where's my passport at? There's a delay because of the Easter holiday. They technically have until next Monday to make their decision. But my flight is this weekend. Sorry, ma'am, can't do shit. I didn't get to go to Britain because my passport is held back. So I was like, okay, fine. They told me it's gonna take 3 weeks. They have until the Monday. It's holiday. Get it? Take it. But it's a Tuesday right now. It's April the 30th. It's almost a whole month. My passport's still not back yet. I called them yesterday on Monday. They told me my application is completed and my passport is dispatched. And it's ridiculous that every time I try to call them, they charge me 1.75 pounds per minute to just talk to an operator. They told me yesterday it was dispatched, and technically it should be back today because it took them a day to transfer my visa from the visa application center to the decision desk when I first applied for it. So I imagine that it would take about the same amount of time for them to transfer it back from the decision desk to the visa center so I could go and pick it up. I even chose the pickup option because I can't afford them to mail it back to me, because the whole mailing system in France is another messed up story. For my passport, I was like, I'm gonna just go pick it up. But today I called them again. They're like, the lady was super duper rude, so rude. I was like, can I get it back? Where is my passport? She's like, oh, I only can see it's completed. I cannot tell you anything else. That's it. I was like, can you at least tell me how long it's gonna take it to get transferred so I can calculate the time, because I'm leaving this Thursday to go back to the US. I want to see my boyfriend. My best friend is having her birthday. I want to be there, and you need to understand, like, at this point I don't even care about your freaking visa. I just want my passport back because it has my US visa on it. And she's like, you have to wait. And I called the local embassy. I was like, can I just go there by myself and then see if I can do anything about it? She's like, yeah, of course you can come, but we're closed. I was like, oh, it's 4:15. It says you close at 5:30 on the website. Oh yeah, we close at 3 today. My friends, do you understand the amount of frustration? Do you get it? It's, and I met my, like, I was literally crying in the hallway after calling my boyfriend. I'm like, sorry honey, I might not be able to go back this weekend. Like, I don't know where my passport is. And my French teacher, she saw me. She's super nice. She's French. And then she's like, I'm so sorry, Holly, that's France, that's how they work, it's really, really slow. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. And the last reason why I hate about Paris is this whole culture called bonne nuit. I'm living at a bonne nuit right now. My professor also lives at a bonne nuit. It's basically outside of Paris, where, like, you know, like pretty typical European houses. They're like small houses, like balcony and shit. But because they want to rebuild the city to be more modern or whatever, they build this like high, like tall apartment buildings that just like puts people into little cells. To be frank, my room is not that bad, but we are far away from Paris. Far away from Paris. And the metro system sucks balls. It does not work. It's always delayed, always cancelled. You can't get to Paris sometimes. It's worse than any metro system I've seen. Even people complain about metro in the New York lobby, like, oh, it's dirty, blah blah blah, but it works. It gets you to places. But here, if you're stuck, you're stuck. For example, for tomorrow, it's the Labor Day. I can't go out. I was supposed to meet up with my partner to do my project, but I don't think the metro is gonna be working. And the gilets jaunes, for you guys who don't know, it's the yellow vests who do many protests against the French government, demanding fixations on laws. And for tomorrow, I got a notification from my school. It says the gilets jaunes are planning on taking over the whole city. So I'm scared. I am scared, my friends. And I'm trapped. I'm sick. I can't go anywhere without my passport. I feel like I'm gonna cry again. This is terrible. The last thing I want to share is that we learn about a phenomena, or a new thing called Paris syndrome in my major class. it's this whole psychological disease that people have after they come to Paris, and they get this because they realize there's such huge difference between their expectation of Paris and the reality. Paris is just not a good city right now, my friends. My professor once said in the class, the problem that the French people are facing right now is that they can't live up to the expectations of their history. So it's a huge mess. So for anyone who has this dream about Paris, don't come here. I'm giving you this advice from all of my heart. Do not come here. Come here for holidays, to buy shit. And the food here is not that good either. I don't find it good. They don't have really good Asian foods. I'm Asian as fuck. They don't have it here. Yeah. Alcohol is fine. Come here, drink wine, that's fine. Get some cheese. Cheese is bomb. Spend like a week at most here. That's pretty much it, I would say. And then just, it's not good. And I hate it with all my heart. I just hope that tomorrow, the embassy doesn't work tomorrow. Of course, it's Labor Day. I just hope on Thursday morning I can get my passport back so I can reunite with people I care in the city that I love. I regret coming here. But it is what it is. Last note, I hate Paris.